Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the visiting Golden Eagles of Sharon High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. It is game 2 out of 3 for Brookline's spring break slot. On Monday, on Patriots Day, Brookline secured a thrilling win over the Wolfpack of Boston Latin School. A 5-4 final gave the Warriors their 5th straight win, improved them to 6-1 on the year, and they're hoping to keep that momentum going here against the Eagles. Now, of course, Brookline did get the win against Sharon last year when they faced them during spring break. Did that behind a strong pitching performance from Connor Jernigan, who has, of course, since transferred over to Avon Old Farms out in Connecticut. And, of course, we of the Brookline baseball community wish Connor nothing but the best in the continuance of his high school baseball career. And so we will see how this one shakes out. We got some notes in the live chat already from some familiar names. First from Barbara Jo Metzger, Go Brookline Warriors from Buffalo, New York. Thank you as always for tuning in, Barbara. Hope you enjoy the game. And then from one of the Brookline players who I assume is out of town today, Sasho Esch. A very simple let's go Brookline, and let me know when the stream starts for you. When I set out those start times, they're sort of approximations, sort of guesstimations. It may not always start at the exact minute, but we're started now, and I hope your connection's working well, Sasho, and I hope you enjoy the game today. So let's go through the starting lineups for the two teams coming into today. And we'll start with the Golden Eagles of Sharon High School. Pardon me, I'm just filling in some of the first names for the Sharon players right now. I'll start this up in a second. All right, here we go. Starting lineup for Sharon today. Leading off for the Eagles, the left fielder, number 7, Soham Kulkarni. Batting second, the shortstop, number 44, Matt Berkeley. Batting third, the catcher, number 9, Liam Conway. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 8, Cole Arundale. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 11, Drew Yaffe. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 38, Matt Cronin. Mound for Sharon today, number 33, Luke Makesel. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 2, Jake Loomis. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 29, Mason Silverman. And just playing the field for Sharon, the third baseman, number 10, Casey Stengel. Head coach of the Sharon High baseball team is Larry Yaffe. So that's starting lineup for the visiting Sharon High Golden Eagles. Now we take a look at the starting lineup for the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Leading off for Brookline today, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Batting third, the first baseman, number 9, Elias Brendel. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 13, Felix Hom. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. Batting seventh, the pitcher, number 22, Charlie Engelman. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Head coach of the Brookline High baseball team is Brendan O'Connor. So that's the starting lineup for Brookline. Interesting thing to note, Jonathan Mazzara in the starting lineup today after being out of the batting order for past couple of games. Of course, he had that explosive bases clearing double during Brookline's big win over, I believe it was Needham. And of course, that was also the last game that Charlie Engelman appeared in here at Warren, as he delivered a stellar pitching performance that day, but was not in the batting order. Returned to the batting order for the first time in 5 games on Monday, and had a big RBI double to get Brookline's scoring started. It was his first hit of the year. And then Hugh Bollinger starting out in right, while they have Elias Brendel at first. Brendel has been swapping back and forth between first base and right field this season. Brookline deciding to give a starting spot to Bollinger, who's played at a few different positions in the infield and outfield. So we'll see how things shake out for the Warriors today. A reminder that if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Brookline will be back in action again tomorrow back here at Warren to host the Falcons of Cambridge Range and Latin School. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. If you got anything to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat or to send me an email. We've got some notes in the live chat already, as you can see. And other than that, enjoy the game. Sharon wrapping up their warm-ups, so we'll soon be getting this one started from Warren Field. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Baseball. First pitch, and he laces it out to right. Harrison Siegel delivers. Runner taking off for second. It's a low skipping throw. Melton throws down, and they got him in time. Hits it. He wins it. Hugh Bollinger. Welcome to the Warriors. Brookline wins. Okay, the two team, or rather, Brookline is getting ready to take the field for the top of the first inning. As we will see Sharon's first turn at the bat. It'll be Kulkarni, Berkeley, and Conway Due up for the Eagles to start us off. Yuli Burstein in the live chat saying it's good. I assume referring to all the technical aspects of things. For those of you who tuned in to our Patriots Day broadcast on Monday, you know some of the technical aspects of that stream were not so good. But so far, things looking good here. Wi-Fi is looking strong. Hopefully it stays that way. Audio's been working out well to start this one after all the snafus we had on Monday where really my computer just glitched. Like I straight up needed to restart the thing in order to get everything to work. You know, fortunately we didn't miss too much of the game. You know, fans just had to suffer, you know, through some play-by-play commentary that sounded closer to an old-school radio broadcast, you know, than a modern, you know, proper broadcast like I usually do. But here are things, you know, looking so far so good. Fingers crossed that it stays that way. For those of you who missed the starting lineups earlier, for Sharon, batting order is Kulkarni in left field, Berkeley at short, Conway at catcher, Arundel the designated hitter, Yaffe in center, Cronin at first, Makesel on the mound, Loomis in right, Silverman at second, Stengel just in the field at third. For Brookline, Sawada at second, Siegel at center, Brendel at first, Hom at short, Melton behind the plate, Bollinger in right, Engelman on the mound, Mazzara playing the hot corner, and Hoffman in left. We're just kind of waiting around for this to get started. It's a nice day for baseball out here. Temperature in the low 50s, projects to get warmer as the day goes, as we are starting kind of early since we're in the middle of spring break week. Kids don't have to wait for school to let out before they can come play. A little bit cooler than it was on Monday as players now come out to take the field. Pardon me for that, folks. Allergy season. Now we take a look at the stats for Brookline's starting pitcher today, number 22, Charlie Engelman. So far this season, he's made 2 pitching appearances. And I think I've actually listed that incorrectly. I think he's actually started both of them, so I might have to go back and correct that a bit. That's all right. He's got a 1-0 record, having recorded the win on the mound against Needham. He's pitched 7.2 innings through his first 2 appearances, has an ERA of 1.83, a whip of 1.43, and 9 strikeouts. And yeah, I think I've got that just listed incorrectly. I believe he started both appearances he's had so far, unless I'm remembering something incorrectly about the Needham game, which I don't think I am. But Engelman was the opening day starter against Newton South. Pitched about 2 1/3, I want to say. Was pulled a little early because it was a low-scoring game and an inning was starting to get away from him after a throwing error and some wild pitches. But ultimately, Brookline did get the win in that one, 3-1. Against Needham, he got off to a very hot start. 5 no-hit innings to start the game. And while he did ultimately start getting hit in the 6th inning, gave up 2 runs before he was pulled, it was still a very strong performance, and Brookline went on to get the win in that one, 9-2. So here we go, starting things off here in the top of the first. Leading off for Sharon, the left fielder, number 7, Soham Kulkarni. First pitch of the game is high for ball 1. That one in the dirt, ball 2. Interestingly enough, both teams with a lefty batter as their leadoff man. Kulkarni for Sharon, Keenan Sawada for Brookline. That one catches the low outside corner for strike 1. Also, a bit of an interesting coincidence from the batting order. For Brookline, their second baseman is leading off, and their left fielder is batting 9th. For Sharon, it's reversed. Their left fielder is leading off, their second baseman is batting 9th. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. 2-2, now the count to Kulkarni. And for any Sharon fans tuning in today, if you notice me messing up the pronunciation of any of the Sharon players' names, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat or send me an email if that's easier for you. That one misses low and away. We've got a full count to start this one here in the top of the first. That one just misses outside, and Kulkarni draws a walk. So a runner on first to start us off, and now batting the shortstop, number 44, Matt Berkeley. Another lefty at the plate for the Eagles as he takes strike 1. And strike two. Engelman hitting the zone early and often with this at bat. And he hits a high hopper towards the middle, field by Sawada, tags second, throws to first, and Brookline turns the 4-3 double play. As we see if we got a good look of the replay, as my mic is starting to sour on us a bit. We can see the high hopper. And Sawada just a good job tagging. Oh, man. So now batting is the catcher, number 9, Liam Conway. Okay, there we go. Seems like we're back. That one's going to miss. I believe we were at a 2-0 count. 2 down, bases empty here on the top of the first. And that's a high ball 3. 3-0 now the count to Conway. Engelman's kind of alternated between one batter where he had struggles finding the zone to one where he pitched nothing but strikes. And now, again, struggling to find the zone. 3-0 the count. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Conway. So Engelman struggling a bit with his control early in this one, walking 2 of the first 3 batters he faces. Now batting the designated hitter, number 8, Cole Arundale. We've got a courtesy runner in for the catcher, Conway. This is number 4, Jared Marcus, running for the Eagles. First pitch is a high ball 1. That one misses just low, ball 2. And that one's going to miss as well. Again, Engelman having trouble finding the zone here in the first. And it's not like there's one particular area he's missing from. He's been missing high, low, outside, inside. And I think that time he showed bunt just to try and psych Engelman out, but he still hits the zone for strike 1. But that one's going to miss high. It's another walk. Three walks out of the first 4 batters. And now with runners at first and second and 2 down, up comes the center fielder, number 11, Drew Yaffe. That one's going to miss inside, ball 1. And a tough batter to be facing when you're struggling to find the zone. Yaffe with a smaller strike zone than some of his teammates. But that one hits the zone, strike 1. One and one, the count now to Yaffe. Pickoff move, and he got him. The signature Charlie Engelman pickoff move at second, and now they've got the runner in a pickle, and they've got the tag. Charlie Engelman gave up 3 walks. Only one batter actually put a ball in play. And yet Brookline able to record 3 outs as we take a look at the replay. You can see he's got that slick turnaround. Oops. Hit the wrong thing. But a slick turnaround there, and he gets Marcus between second and third for the 3rd out of the inning. So Brookline, despite giving up 3 walks in the first inning, escapes with no runs allowed off the back of a nice 4-3 double play by Keenan Sawada and a nice pickoff at second by Charlie Engelman. And, you know, that's going to give Engelman a real chance to sort of settle in, start finding the zone next inning, and get back into a groove. When a tough inning like that doesn't prove costly, it can help a pitcher settle down and regain his form. Luke Makesel now takes his turn on the mound for the Eagles. Due up for Brookline will be Sawada, Siegel, and Brendel. Now we get ready to start the bottom of the first. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. You can see Sawada's stats for the season so far listed at the bottom of your screen as he gets ready to face the first pitch from Makesel. And that's going to be a low ball 1. Sawada coming into this one with a batting average of .261, slugging percentage same. On base, .393, 2 steals, 1 run, and 3 RBI. Swing and a miss there. Strike 1. Makes contact, but right back at Makesel. Nice catch for out number 1. So 1 down. Now up comes the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. First pitch misses, low and away, ball 1. Siegel, as you can see, off to an absurd start to this season. Batting average .444, on-base percentage .643, slugging percentage .500. As that's going to be a high ball 2. Leads the team in all slash line categories. Also leads the team in hit by pitch with 5. Leads the team in steals with 6. Second on the team in runs scored with 7, and has 3 RBI on top of it. Slice this one high up in the infield. Tracked at third and caught for out number 2. Two down, bases empty. Up comes the first baseman, number 9, Elias Brendel. First pitch is low for ball 1. Brendel's had a knack for getting on base so far this season, an on-base percentage of .556 with a team-leading 9 walks and a team-leading 8 runs scored to go with 3 steals and 4 RBI. Batting average .250, slugging percentage .313. And Brendel with good contact out to right field. That's going to drop in for a 2-out single. And Brookline has their first hit of the day. Now batting the shortstop, number 13, Felix Hom. And that's a wild pitch, and Brendel will head down to second. Hom may not have the most impressive slash line numbers at 231, 286, 231, but he's been a big part of the offense early in this season with 3 runs scored and 5 RBI. That RBI mark ranks among the best on the team. So while he may not be racking up a million hits, he's been getting them in a very timely manner. And that is in there, strike 2. 1-2 the count, 2 down, runner at second here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless game so far. Slices that one foul, stays alive at 1-2. Brendel taking off for third, and Hom fouls it off. Brookline was going for a hit and run there. Very aggressive to send a runner off for third. And that one's going to be high, ball 2. And you wonder if a high pitch like that might have been a reaction to the hit and run attempt. Try and see if they could catch the runner. 2-2 the count. And Mayfield takes a beat off the mound. Resets. That one's high and in, ball 3. So Hom battles his way back to a full count. And that's a high, ball 4. So Hom able to draw a walk. Now coming up, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. And for Brookline, this is the kind of guy you want up with 2 runners on and 2 down, as he takes strike 1 there. Melton with strong slash line numbers, 333, 520, 333, but 2 runs scored and a team-leading 6 RBI so far, as Mayfield a funky move there. And that one's going to miss for ball 1. Actually fooled me. I thought he was going to go back to second. And that time he does step off the rubber check at second. Didn't make a throw, but you can tell he is wary of Brendel at second. That one is low, ball 2. Makesel's got to be careful. If his mind is too focused on dealing with Brendel at second, it'll distract him from dealing with Melton at the plate. Melton sliced this one foul over my head for strike 2. 2-2 now the count. Brendel taking off, and it's a low ball 3, and they just let the runners advance. Conway made a calculated decision to focus on the batter there, not try and force anything. Second and third now, full count to Melton. And that's a high ball 4. So the steals end up not mattering as Melton draws a walk. And now the bases are juiced with 2 down here in the first inning for the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. And Brookline's going to send a courtesy runner out to Melton's spot at first. That will be number 19, Devin Chin. Bollinger hits a chopper over the pitcher, over to short, picked up, thrown to first. And the first baseman just barely kept his foot on the bag to get Bollinger. And that is the last out of the inning. The Brookline first base coach tried to appeal it, but the ump sticking with his call. And Brookline leaves him stranded. It was a nice 2-out rally, but Brookline ultimately unable to bring any runs in. Through 1, we are scoreless here at Warren Field. For Sharon, Drew Yaffe will lead off this inning as a runner was caught stealing while Yaffe was at the plate to end the first inning, so he will come up to finish that plate appearance. After him, it will be Matt Cronin and then Luke Makesel. Charlie Engelman back on the mound. Had a bit of an issue with his pitch control in the first inning. Surrendered 3 walks, but thanks to a double play and a slick pickoff move, they were able to get out of that inning with no score, but certainly he'll be hoping to have better luck finding the zone in this inning. We got a few Eagles fans tuning in this one. Deep Tick 8, Ryan Saber and Amit and Deepti Kulkarni all showing their support for the visitors. Happy to see you guys tuning in. Hope you enjoy the game. Leading off For Sharon, the center fielder, number 11, Drew Yaffe. And that one is going to be a low ball 1. That one hits the zone, strike 1. That's going to be a high ball 2. And this one is chopped foul up the first base side. 2-2 now the count. Hits a dribbler over to second. Sawada charges in to get it and throws to first for out number 1. So Engelman definitely had a better time finding the zone with that one. We'll see if that pattern continues. Now batting for Sharon, the first baseman, number 38, Matt Cronin. That first pitch is strike 1. Cronin, of course, did a very nice job staying on first base to get the third out of the first inning and end Brookline's rally. As he takes strike 2 there. It's very interesting. We go from Drew Yaffe, one of the smaller Sharon players, to now Matt Cronin, one of their bigger players. A very big change in the size of the strike zone. Hits a grounder over to short, fielded by Hom, thrown to first, and that'll be out number 2. So a pair of infield groundouts. Have 2 down here in the top of the second. Now batting the pitcher, number 33, Luke Makesel. First pitch catches the inside corner, strike 1. So we have our first pitcher versus pitcher matchup. Of course, we'll see the reverse of this to start off the bottom of the second as Makesel fouls that one off. Engelman is due to lead off for Brookline when they take their turn at the plate in the bottom of the second. Both pitchers batting 7th in their respective teams' batting orders. That one skips in, ball 1. This one sliced foul, and Makesel stays alive at 1-2. And he lifts this one out to center, and Siegel makes the grab. Despite losing his balance there at the end, he holds on and gets the last out of the inning. It was good contact from Makesel, but just Needed to be a little more to the left or the right. Of course, Brookline fans know the strong range that Harrison Siegel has out in center field. Man's been displaying his speed a lot more this season. And he takes care of business for the third out there. We move to the bottom of the second. Still no score as Sharon goes down in order in the top of the second. Mayfield back on the mound. And now he'll get the reverse of the matchup that we just saw. We just saw Engelman pitching to Mayfield. And now we will see Mayfield pitching to Engelman, as it will be the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for Brookline: Engelman, Mazzara, and Hoffman. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the second, the pitcher, number 22, Charlie Engelman. First pitch just misses, ball one. Engelman with just 10 plate appearances to his name so far this season, as he's only been in the batting order in 3 of Brookline's first 7 games. He takes ball 2 there. That said, out of the 3 times he's reached base, 2 of them have resulted in an RBI. Or no, out of the 2 times he's reached base, both of them have resulted in an RBI. As he takes strike 1 there. Engelman had a bases-loaded walk in the season opener against Newton South, and then, of course, he had the RBI double on Monday. That's going to be strike 2. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Engelman's first swing of the at-bat, and he really shouldn't have swung at that one. Fell for the high heat for strike 3. Now batting for Brookline, the third baseman, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Mazzara lifts one high into right field. Right fielder back. Could not catch it. Mazzara racing down to second. And Jonathan Mazzara, despite having just 9 plate appearances to his name this season, now leads the team with 2 doubles on the year. It was a tough ball to play. Might have been carried a bit by the wind out in right field, and while Jake Loomis made his best effort, could not haul it in. So now with 1 out and a runner at second, and up comes the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Chases that one high, strike 2. Hoffman, as you can see, not off to a great start in terms of his personal slash line numbers, but he's actually been part of a number of late game rallies for Brookline, so he's had a bit of a clutch factor this year, including the game-winning RBI on Monday. Now facing a 1-2 count with a runner at second and nobody out. That one gets away. Mazzara is taking off for third. It's going to be close, but Mazzara slides in safe, moves to third on the wild pitch. So now the game's potential first run just 90 feet away. The second runner to reach third, as Brookline did load the bases last inning. 2-2 the count to Hoffman. That pitch comes in high for ball 3. Hoffman fouls that one off and stays alive with a full count. And another defensive swing from Hoffman keeps him alive. Bit of a hesitation swing, but good to foul off and keep battling. And that one skips in the dirt, and Hoffman draws a free pass. Runners at first and third now, as we cycle around to the top of the order. Now batting for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Good chance Brookline will try and move Hoffman to second with Mazzara at third to threaten. First pitch is high to Sawada, ball 1. High pitch to maybe give Conway a better jump for a throw down to second. That one missed. I think it was outside for ball 2. And now there's going to be a meeting at the mound. Happy to see a number of fans tuning in and bringing the good vibes in the live chat out of support for their teams. We're seeing some cheering for Brookline. We're seeing some cheering for Sharon. Happy to see it. Hope you guys are enjoying the game. It is a 2-0 count to Sawada. Mazzara at third, Hoffman at first. Nobody out here in the, or no, one out. I'm so dumb. One out here in the bottom of the second. Hoffman takes off for second. Sawada pulls back the bunt, and Conway does not attempt a throw. And with a 3-0 count, Hoffman does take second on the steal. That does eliminate the potential of a grounder into a double play as Hoffman takes, as Sawada takes ball 4. And so for the second straight inning, Brookline loads the bases, and now arguably their best hitter comes to the plate with the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. First pitch high, ball 1. Makesel's got to be careful now. A free pass of any kind will bring in the game's first run. Siegel slices that one foul, strike 1. But of course, in a way, Siegel's got to be careful too. If he puts one on the ground, that could turn into an inning-ending double play here with 1 out and a force at every base. Siegel lifts one out to left. It's caught by the left fielder. It's shallow, and so the runners are forced to hold. Fly ball was not deep enough. And now with 2 down and the bases still loaded, up comes the first baseman, number 9, Elias Brendel. That's a big second out get for Mayfield. Not just a second out, but a second out that doesn't move the runners. First pitch hits the zone, strike one to Brendel. Brendel, his last time up, got a 2-out single, started a bit of a rally for Brookline, but was left stranded at third. That one's going to miss, low and away, ball one. And that one almost gets away. Mazzara thought about it, but it was a bit too difficult to see, so it'll simply be ball two. You know, that's the thing. Sometimes when a catcher looks around kind of confused, that the runner will be kind of confused because he won't be sure where the ball is. And if you don't get a good jump to take off for a new base, usually it's better to just stay put. 2-1 the count. Brendel slices one, foul, and it's going to be out of play for strike two. 2-2 the count, bases loaded, 2 down. Mayfield trying to get out of the jam once again. Brendel trying to put Brookline on the board. And Brendel lifts one out to right center, and they're not going to be able to get that one. That's extra bases. Sawada racing around third. It'll be a bases clearing double for Elias Brendel. 3 runs in off a monster hit from the Brookline first baseman. As we take a look at the RBI, that marks the second double of the year for Elias Brendel, as Brookline takes a huge 3-0 lead. Now batting the shortstop, number 13, Felix Hum, as he slices one foul and out of play. So 2 doubles in 1 inning for Brookline, as Brendel now shares the team lead with Mazzara. That one comes in high for ball one. Hum, his last time up, he drew a walk, but was left stranded at second. High ball two. So Brendel, with those 3 RBIs, now takes the team lead in RBI this season as Hom slices one foul for strike 2. As that's now 7 RBI for Elias Brendel. Huge hit for Brookline to break things open. Brendel taking off for third, and Hom with a defensive swing stays alive at 2-2. Brookline staying aggressive on the base paths. And Hom chases that one for strike 3. We are through 2 here at Warren Field. Our score, Brookline 3, Sharon 0. A huge 2-out bases clearing double from Elias Brendel breaks the game open. And now Engelman returns to the hill with a lead to work with. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for the Golden Eagles. Loomis, Silverman, and Kulkarni. And we can see Elias's teammate, Sasho Esch, cheering him on in the live chat. An explosive rally for Brookline. 2 doubles sandwiched around 2 walks. It was Jonathan Mazzara who got that one started with a 1-out double. Then back-to-back walks from Owen Hoffman and Keenan Sawada loaded the bases. And then 2 batters later, Elias Brendel coming through huge. 2 outs, 2 strikes, and he launches one out to right center. And drives in all 3 runners. Now leading off here in the top of the 3rd inning, the right fielder, number 2, Jake Loomis. First one in there, strike 1. And Loomis hits a chopper over to second, juggled by Sawada, throwing from off his knees. He gets to first for out number 1. We've seen a couple plays now where the Brookline fielder stumbles a bit, but still able to make the play. Of course, Harrison Siegel had that stumble for a catch out in center field back in the first. Or no, back in the second. And now Sawada with that play there. Now batting the second baseman, number 29, Mason Silverman, as he takes strike 1 to the inside corner. That one's going to miss, low and in, ball 1. That one bounces in, ball 2. This one lifted out to right. Sliding catch made by Bollinger. Nice catch made out in the outfield by Hugh Bollinger for the second out. Now we cycle back to the top of the Sharon batting order with the left fielder, number 7, Soham Kulkarni. First one hits the zone, strike 1. I think the ump was just using the bat to sort of draw an official batter's box. So I don't think they actually have like chalk lines for the batter's box here at Warren. That one's low and in, ball 1. That one is going to miss as well, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Kulkarni, his last time up, he drew a leadoff walk to start the top of the first inning, but was forced out at second on a 4-3 double play. That one curves in for strike 3. Engelman retires the side in order for the second straight inning. We move to the bottom of the third with Brookline still leading 3-0. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Melton, Bollinger, and Engelman, due up for the Warriors as Mayfield returns to the mound for his third inning of work. And it's really been a strong day in the field for Brookline so far. They had the double play and the pickoff in the first inning. They had a bit of a stumbling grab out in center by Siegel to end the second. Bit of a stumbling grab by Sawada to start the third, and then a sliding catch out and right by Bollinger. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the third, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. Melton drew a walk his last time up. Takes low ball 1 to start. That one inside, ball 2. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. That one's low, ball 3. And Melton gets jammed inside, fouls it off, strike 2. A full count to start off the bottom of the third here to Melton. And that's going to skip in, and Melton with his second consecutive free pass today. And they're going to bring in the courtesy runner for their catcher. Number 19, Devin Chin. And unlike last time when Melton's walk loaded the bases, Chin with some space at second in front of him, and you can see Mayfield aware of that as he tried to sneak a quick pickoff throw to first before even throwing his first pitch to the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch outside, and Conway kind of dropped it. Well, it looked like he was winding up to go for a throw to first. Going to be an interesting battle between pitcher, catcher, and runner as Bollinger sliced that one foul for strike one. Bollinger, his last time up, grounded out short to end the first inning, hoping he can move the runner here. Another throw back to first, and Chin gets back safe. Opted to just step back as opposed to diving back that time. Runner's taking off, and Conway again juggled the ball after receiving the pitch. I believe the umpire called strike two, but Devin Chin does steal second. So runner in scoring position now for the Warriors. That one going to be inside for what I believe is ball two, and it is. And Mayfield decides to throw back to second to check on Chin. Brookline has had multiple attempts to go for third, so Mayfield knows he's got to be aware. Bollinger defensive swing stays alive at 2-2. Bollinger hits one through the gap into right field. Chin is going to round third. He's going to race for home. It's going to be close at the plate. Chin slides in safe. Bollinger down to second, and he is going to be tagged out, trying to stretch that one out on the throw. So Bollinger does get the RBI single. Chin in to score. But Bollinger thrown out at second. Heads up throw by Liam Conway to at least get the out. Brookline now up 4-0 off of that one. At the plate now for Brookline, the pitcher, number 22, Charlie Engelman. That one comes high and in, ball one. So between Sawada scoring from first on Brendel's double and Chin scoring from second on what was a fairly shallow single from Bollinger, we see the advantage of having speedy guys on the base paths, especially here at the high school level. Engelman sliced that one foul, strike two. Engelman went down on strikes his first time up, leading off the bottom of the second, now facing a 1-2 count here in the bottom of the third with one out, and he calls a brief time. And that one just low, ball two. And manages to get a piece of that one, stay alive at 2-2. For some of the more casual viewers of this, you might have noticed me mentioning the term defensive swing a couple of times when a batter fouls a ball off with two strikes. And sometimes you'll see batters, when they got two strikes, they take kind of a weaker swing, but just to get a piece of it and stay alive, as that's a high ball three. Oops. So a full count now to Engelman. And slices that one foul out of play. Like that one, I wouldn't call a defensive swing right there. That looks like a full swing, like Engelman was going for it. Like even if there was only one strike, he would still swing at it. But when you see guys take kind of a reach just to get a piece of it, as Engelman draws ball four, you know, when you see guys take kind of those, you know, little reach, almost like kind of half-hearted swings. Doesn't seem like they put their full power behind it. A lot of times those are pitches that they would normally take for a strike. But with 2 strikes, you can't afford to take another strike. So in those situations, they might go for what is called a defensive swing, a swing where you're not putting all your power into it. You're just trying to get a piece of it so you can stay alive. And that one is going to be fouled off for strike 1. At the plate for Brookline is the third baseman, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. And in at first, as a courtesy runner for the pitcher Engelman, is number 8, Ben Doktoroff. And already you can see kind of the chess match going on off of first. Doktoroff was inching his way further and further off from first, but then just before Meixel made the throw, as Mazzara hits a grounder, fielded by Casey Stengel at third, throw to first, and they get Mazzara. He does move the runner, and that'll be 2 down. Now batting the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Interestingly enough, Hoffman got the go-ahead RBI single late in Monday's game, and it was Doktoroff who he drove in as he takes a big swing and a miss there, strike 1. Doktoroff was operating that time as a pinch runner for first baseman Adam Rosenblatt, now operating as a courtesy runner for Charlie Engelman as another big swing and a miss from Hoffman. Oh, and 2, the count to Hoffman. Last time up, he drew a walk, came in to score on Mazzara's bases clearing double, and he fouls that one off to stay alive at 0-2. He makes contact here. It's a grounder over to second, fielded by Silverman, and that's an easy 4-3 ground out to end the inning. Brookline puts one more run on the board, and at the end of 3, our score, the Brookline Warriors 4, the Sharon Golden Eagles 0. Due up in the top of the 4th for Sharon will be the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Berkeley, Conway, and Arundel. Charlie Engelman back on the mound for his 4th inning of work for Brookline. If he finishes this inning as the starting pitcher, he will qualify for a pitching win, as starters need to pitch over 50% of the game before they can qualify for a pitching win. Engelman, after a shaky first inning where he gave up 3 walks but got out of the jam thanks to a double play and a pickoff move, Since then, he's been putting the Eagles batters down in order. Now leading off for Sharon here in the top of the fourth, the shortstop, number 44, Matt Berkeley. First pitch, and that hit his foot. And it's a hit by pitch to start for Matt Berkeley. The first Sharon hitter to reach base since the first inning. Now batting the catcher, number 9, Liam Conway. Conway, of course, had that nice throw down to second to catch Bollinger trying to advance on the throw on his RBI single. Now facing a 1-0 count with Berkeley at first. And that one's going to miss, outside, ball 2. Couple of balls outside to start the at-bat, and again, you see kind of the, the strategic moves and the psychology behind how things change when a runner is on base, as a throw like that can set up a potential pickoff move for the catcher when you throw to the outside. That one catches the outside corner, strike 1. 2-1 now, the count to Conway. Conway drew a walk his last time up, but his courtesy runner was picked off between second and third. Hits a hard grounder, snagged by Hom, flips to second for 1, on to first, and they got him for the double play. How about the play from Felix Hom that time for the 6-4-3 double play? That one looks like it might bounce through the middle, but a great diving snag by the Brookline shortstop. And managed to maintain enough of his balance to flip it to first, and then a nice scoop off the dirt at first base by Elias Brendel to complete the play. Second double play completed by the Brookline infield. 2 down, bases empty, and now up is the designated hitter, number 8, Cole Arundale, as it's now a 1-1 count. Arundale, his last time up, drew a walk, but was left stranded at first. Hits a hard grounder here over to Sawada, fielded, thrown to first, and that ends the 4th inning. More good fielding from the Warriors here today as they turn their second double play of the afternoon. During this break between the top and bottom of the 4th inning, I'd like to take a moment and direct your attention to a helpful link in the description section of this video. If you go into the description section at the top, you'll find a link for I believe the PayPal account, the official PayPal account for the At-Bat for Brookline Booster Club, if you would like to donate and support the Brookline High Baseball program financially. So be sure to check that out in the description section down below. In the meantime, we've got a pitching change here for Sharon. Number 38, Matt Cronin, taking over on the mound for Makesel. And it's just a simple 1-to-1 switch as Makesel goes to first. Makesel lasted 3 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. And unless Sharon is able to come back and at least tie the game, Makesel will be on the hook for the loss. In the meantime, Cronin takes over. He will face the top of Brookline's order with Sawada, Siegel, and Brendel. So on the one hand, for Brookline's side, they have to get used to a different pitcher, and a different style of dealing after having had a couple of chances to get used to Makesel's style of pitching. But on the other side, Cronin comes in, and I've talked about it a million times on these streams, how much more difficult it is to be a relief pitcher at the high school level than at any other level, because there aren't specialists at this level. Players aren't just pitchers, and they especially aren't just relief pitchers. Cronin started at first. He was warming up, while Sharon had their turn at the plate in the top of the fourth. But it's like you're not coming in with the mentality that a reliever would have at the professional level of, okay, be ready to come in potentially a difficult situation or in an emergency situation. You're coming in thinking, okay, I'm playing first base today, and then you end up coming in as a reliever. So it can be a lot trickier to do, and we'll see how Cronin handles it, as stepping in for Brookline is the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch is low for ball 1. Sawada hits a grounder over to second, fielded by Silverman, thrown to first for out number 1. So a quick out get there. Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. Siegel 0 for 2 so far today, a pop out to third and a line out to left. As he takes high ball 1. That one hits the zone, strike 2. Cronin showing no signs of struggles with hitting the zone and finding his rhythm. He's been off to a good start out of the bullpen in this inning. But he hits... No. Harrison Siegel got hit again. That's 6 times this year that Harrison Siegel has been hit by a pitch. And even though the season's not even halfway through, Siegel is already 3/4 of the way to the number of hit by pitches he got last year, as Brendel lifts a fly ball out to left. It is caught by Kulkarni for out number 2. Now batting the shortstop, number 13, Felix Hom. Siegel taking off for second, and that ball got away from Conway, as Siegel very easily takes second. And Conway tried to sneak a throw down to second, as Siegel was a little off the bag there, but he does get back easily. Siegel with another steal as he still leads the team. Now at second, dancing off the bag, trying to get in Cronin's head as he's trying to pitch to Hom. Hom hits a chopper foul up the third base line. Siegel recording his 7th stolen base by taking second. And Hom chases that one low, fouls it off, strike 2. Pickoff throw back to second, a little bit high and away, but Berkeley was able to track it and keep it from going into center field as Siegel gets back to second. Siegel taking off for third. That's a low one. Siegel slides in safe, and he's taking off for home as that one got away from Stengel, and Siegel slides into home. The wheels on Harrison Siegel. As he steals third, comes home on an error for the second straight game that's happened, as he scored in a similar manner against Boston Latin on Monday. Brookline now leading 5-0 as Harrison Siegel gets the run basically all by himself as that one skips in for ball 3 to Hom. A hit by pitch, a steal of second, a steal of third, and coming home on an error. Hom goes down on strikes, and that ends the bottom of the fourth. Brookline able to put another run on the board, and at the end of 4, the score, Brookline 5, Sharon 0. Here at this break between the 4th and 5th innings, I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention to some other helpful links in the description section of this video. So below the link for At Bat for Brookline, you'll find a link for our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by Brookline High School students, which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people struggling with homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those experiencing homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats help to keep those struggling with homelessness warm during the colder months, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. Over the past 3 years, Brookline Cares has purchased and distributed over 200 Empower coats and 1,000 pairs of Bombas socks to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless, and you can help them bring more warmth to those in need. In the description section of the video, you can find 2 links. The first one to the website classy.org, where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team, supporting their efforts to purchase more Empower coats. And then you'll find another link to the to Brookline Cares' own website on wixsite.com, where you can find out more information about them, how you can contact them, maybe how you can join them if you're a student interested in helping out the cause. Once again, check out those 2 links in the description down below and help spread the warmth with Brookline Cares. We move to the top of the 5th. Engelman back on the mound. Having completed 4 innings, he is now the pitcher on credit for the pitching win for Brookline, as long as they hold the lead for the rest of the game. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up this inning for Sharon, Yaffe, Cronin, and Makesel. Leading off, the center fielder, number 11, Drew Yaffe. Shows bunt, lays it down up the third base line, chasing after it. Engelman not going to be able to get there in time, and Drew Yaffe breaks the no-hitter here in the top of the 5th with a bunt single. Engelman had allowed no hits through the first 4 innings, 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch, but no base hits. But Drew Yaffe, with the well-placed bunt and the speed up the first base line, as that wild pitch is going to move Yaffe down to second, almost hit Cronin, would have been his second hit by pitch. Instead, it'll be ball 1. Not sure if the umps were maybe conferring about whether or not that might have hit Cronin. The pitcher, number 38, Matt Cronin, grounded out to short his last time up. Now facing a 1-0 count with a runner at second and nobody out. Slices that one foul and out of play. That one misses high and away, ball 2. That one catches the outside corner, strike 2. And he hits a dribbler up the first base side, fielded by Brendel. He's going to take it himself for out number 1, but Cronin does move Yaffe down to third. One out, runner at third, now up the first baseman, number 33, Luke Makesel. Makesel, his last time up, he flew out to center and gets a piece of that one, fouls it off, strike 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Looked for a brief moment like Melton might have forgotten about the out count there. But irregardless, 2 down now with the runner still at third, and I think we got a pinch hitter hitting in place of Loomis. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1. I'm trying to catch the jersey number, but it doesn't look like the number 2. So he might have had a substitution out in right field. Hits on, but it's right at Sawada, juggled a bit, picks it up, throws to first, and they get out number 3. And that ends the inning. So Sharon breaks the no-hitter, gets a runner all the way to third, but unable to bring him in as the pinch hitter, number 28, Harry Liebrot, grounds out to second to end the inning. Matt Cronin back on the mound. He will face the Brookline 5, 6, 7 hitters, Melton, Bollinger, and Engelman. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the 5th, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. First pitch, misses high and in, ball 1. Melton, a hard liner through the left gap into left field. And it'll be a leadoff single for the Brookline catcher. Chin coming back in as the courtesy runner again, as Melton reaches base for the 3rd time today. Now batting for Brookline, the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. That one, a wild pitch, and Chin is going to race down to second. Back into scoring position, as that'll be ball 1 to Bollinger. Bollinger 1 for 2 so far today. He got an RBI single his last time up, but was thrown out at second trying to advance on the throw. Bollinger hits a grounder up the middle, and it's fielded cleanly at short by Berkeley, and he beats Bollinger by a step for out number 1. He does advance Chin to 3rd. Well fielded by Berkeley, as that grounder was taking a bit of a weird hop towards the end of it. Now with a runner on 3rd and 1 out, up comes the pitcher, number 22, Charlie Engelman. Oh, they got a pickoff at 3rd. I didn't even see. I was turned to my computer screen to update the count, and Chin got picked off at 3rd. And that one bounces off the end of Engelman's bat. That'll be a foul ball for strike 1. So it'll be 2 down and bases empty now after the big pickoff move by the Eagles. And it's a 2-1 count now to Engelman. That one in there, strike 2. Engelman hits a grounder over to short, fielded again by Berkeley, thrown to first, and that will be out number 3. We are through 5 here at Warren. The score, Brookline 5, Sharon 0. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up for Sharon, Silverman, Kulkarni, and Berkeley. Engelman back on the mound for the 6th. A strong outing so far, 5 shutout innings. 1 hit, 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch. Oh, and apparently we've got some folks joining in to watch this from India. Appear to be tuning in support of Sharon's Soham Kulkarni and the Eagles. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today, folks. Appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the game. It's always cool to hear about the different places people tune in from. Sometimes we hear about different states. You can see from earlier in the live chat, we got a couple of Brookline fans tuning in from New York. And then sometimes, you know, we even get the rare instance of people tuning in from different countries, which is really cool. You know, with all the good and bad that comes with the internet, one of the things that is nice is that, you know, we can connect with people across the globe with something as simple as a high school baseball game. First pitch here is a hard grounder, fielded off the weird hop by Sawada and thrown to first for out number 1 as Mason Silverman grounds out. So 1 pitch, 1 out, and now a cycle to the top of the order. We've actually got a pinch hitter coming in for Kulkarni, it seems, as that first pitch is in there for strike 1. Batting in place of Kulkarni is number 25, Aiden McAuliffe, as he fouls that one off for strike 2. Hits a grounder over to first, juggled by Brendel, fields it, flips to Engelman at first for out number 2. You know, another ball that was juggled a bit but recovered, as after the play is over, Brendel recovers his sunglasses that had fallen off the top of his hat and onto the ground. Lucky for him, they didn't get in the way of him making the play. Now batting the shortstop, number 44, Cole Berkeley. Or Matt Berkeley, excuse me. Tripped on that one. That one is strike 1 as he chases it low. Berkeley, his last time up was hit by a pitch, but got thrown out in a 6-4-3 double play. Before that, he grounded out into a 4-3 double play. Hits chopper over to third, and it gets away from Mazzara, and Berkeley is going to reach on the E5. Now batting the catcher, number 9, Liam Conway. Had to take a couple seconds to take his catcher protective gear off, as he was probably keeping it on in case Berkeley was out and the inning ended. Slice this one high, and it's going to stay in the infield. Brendel tracking it, and he's got it for out number 3. So the Eagles down to their final 3 outs. But first they'll have to get Brookline out in the bottom of the 6th. Our score, Brookline 5, Sharon 0. Due up for Brookline in the bottom of the 6th will be the 8-9 one-hitters, Mazzara, Hoffman, and Sawada. Matt Cronin back on the mound for another inning of relief work. Done a pretty good job on the mound through the past couple of innings. 1 unearned run allowed so far, while a couple runners have reached base and advanced far on the base paths. He's done a pretty good job in relief at limiting the damage. And in fact, if not for that throwing error on Siegel's steal of third, he might have 2 shutout innings to his name today. My goodness, I could hear Bowling for Soup's 1985 being played on the speaker over on the benches. It's a song that I always find kind of funny because it's a song about being nostalgic about the 80s, but it came out in like the mid-2000s, which was 20 years ago, as Jonathan Mazzara fouls off the first pitch. So that song is now as far away from now as it was from 1985. And I get nostalgic for it because it's a song that came out when I was in elementary school. And now I'm 31 years old. Boy, the linear progression of time is a trip, isn't it? 0-2 the count to the Brookline third baseman, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. Leading off here on the bottom of the 6th. As he fouls off another one, stays alive at 0-2. Mazzara, his last time up, grounded out to third. Before that, he had a double back in the 2nd and came in to score as he takes low ball 1 there. Hits a chopper over to short, and it skips past Berkeley, is recovered by Silverman, but not able to get a throw to first as Mazzara is going to reach on the E6. You know, we haven't had a massive amount of fielding errors today, and, you know, that's pretty common as the season progresses and the weather gets a little warmer, you know, maybe a little less wet, and fielders, you know, get a little more comfortable and in their own rhythm after, you know, having played a few games in the field. But there have been a couple of errors today. First pitch is high, and Conway again struggling a bit with the transfer from glove to throwing hand as that one got away from him. But Mazzara holds it first. At the plate, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. That one catches the high part of the zone, strike one. Hoffman, so far today, 0 for 1 with a walk, a steal, and a run scored as Cronin checks on Mazzara at first. That one finds the zone, and Mazzara again retreats back to first. 1-2, the count to Hoffman. That one misses, appeared to be low and away, ball 2. And Hoffman pops one into shallow right. Right fielder called for it, couldn't make the catch, but he's going to be able to make the throw to second as they get Mazzara. I don't know what they're going to score that one. If they score that, maybe a 9-6 fielder's choice. So Hoffman at first, Mazzara out at second, as he thought that Loomis had made the catch out and right when he had not, and so he was able to throw Mazzara out at second. So 1 out, Hoffman at first, and at the plate is the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Hoffman taking off for second. Throw down to second, and Hoffman slides in a bit awkwardly, but does slide in safely. I believe the pitch itself was strike 2 to Sawada. Sawada so far today lined out to the pitcher, drawn a walk and scored, and grounded out to second. So 0 for 2 with a walk and a run, as he takes a high ball there. And the count is now 1-2. That one skips in, blocked by Conway, ball 2. And Sawada lifts one, going to stay in the infield, and it's caught by Berkeley for out number 2. Two down here in the bottom of the 6th. Now up the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Siegel 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch, 2 steals and a run scored as he lifts one into shallow right. It's being tracked, and a diving catch could not be made, and Siegel going to race around to second, slide in safe as Hoffman is in to score. There's been a few tough plays out in right field. And that one results in a run coming in. Now batting the first baseman, number 9, Elias Brendel. Brendel, of course, had perhaps the play of the game with his bases clearing double. Siegel taking off for third again, and that one skips in the dirt, and Siegel easily takes third. Timeout called as the coach comes out to discuss with Cronin. I see Chris Hart teasing me in the live chat, saying you are so old, Jesse. Parentheses, said the guy who's pushing 50. Hey, listen, time comes for us all in the end. So we're all getting old at the same time. 1-0 the count to Brendel. Siegel at third. That one in the zone. Strike one. And he skies one. It's shallow right again. And this time caught by Loomis out and right for out number 3. Brookline puts one more run on the board in the bottom of the 6th, and now we head to the 7th and final inning. Our score, Brookline 6, Sharon 0. Charlie Engelman back on the mound, trying to complete what would be Brookline's first complete game of the season so far. And also trying to secure the complete game shutout. So very interesting. I'm not sure when the last time Brookline got a shutout win was. That's one I'm going to have to research. I'm not sure if I've covered. No, wait, that's not true. I have covered at least one shutout. One complete game shutout, and it was in a playoff game of all things. A complete game shutout pitched by Aiden Shin all the way back in the 2021 playoffs in Brookline's upset win over Barnstable in the first round of that year's state tournament. This year's seniors were freshmen when that game was played. So I'm going to have to go back and double check, see if there's been a shutout in the past couple years. Off the top of my head, I can't recall one, so I don't think there was one. But, no, wait. Again, I forgot one. Against Madison Park, Brookline got a mercy rule shutout win. But I don't think they've gotten a full 7-inning shutout win yet. And, of course, Sharon could score here in the 7th and make all this historical wondering completely meaningless. We shall see what happens here in the 7th. Leading off, the designated hitter, number 8, Cole Arundale. He lifts the first pitch he sees out to center. Siegel tracking it, and he's got it for out number 1. So one down, and now up comes the Sharon center fielder, number 11, Drew Yaffe. Yaffe so far with Sharon's only base hit of the day as he got that bunt single back in the 5th that broke Engelman's no-hitter. Chases that one low for strike 1. This one is dropped right in front of the plate. Melton, quick turnaround and throw to first to get out number 2. Good reaction by the Brookline catcher. And now we are down to the final out here at Warren. Now batting the pitcher, number 38, Matt Cronin. First pitch low, ball 1. Charlie Engelman trying to finish the complete game shutout for the Warriors and give the team its 6th straight win. As that one is chopped foul, strike 1. Hits a liner out to left center. That's going to drop into the gap, and this one is going to go for extra bases for Cronin. As he legs it down to second, it's close. He just barely slides in safe. Harrison Siegel hustled out in left center, and Cronin just barely legged it out and slid into second for the 2-out double. And he's going to have a pinch runner coming in. That is number 20. The pinch runner for Sharon. Having a little trouble pulling it up, as for some reason it's moving a little slow. But now up, the first baseman, number 33, Luke Makesel, as I believe he just took ball 1. That one also going to miss, ball 2. Brody Lasser is the pinch runner, number 20, at second in place of Cronin. Pickoff move! Got him! Mission complete for Charlie Engelman as he finishes the complete game shutout with one of his signature pickoff moves at second. And once again, Brookline wins. 6 straight victories for the Warriors. They improved to 7-1 as the good times keep rolling for Brookline baseball. Well, that's going to do it for this game. But before we recap the action we saw here at Warren today, just a reminder, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming sports live streams. Brookline High Baseball will be back in action tomorrow for its last game of the spring break week, as they will be hosting the Falcons of Cambridge Ringe and Latin School tomorrow back here at Warren Field at 11 a.m. once again. Be sure to stay tuned for that and plenty more. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all the fans who participated in the live chat today. And remember, if you'd like to say something but the live stream has ended, you can say it in the comment section down below. Also, be sure to go down below to the description section of the video where you can find some helpful links. First, a link where you can donate to the At-Bat for Brookline Booster Club if you would like to support Brookline High Baseball financially. And then a couple of links related to our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. Find out how you can help spread the warmth, help support their effort to, purchase Empower coats to help not just keep those struggling with homelessness warm, but also give some of the homeless population a chance for some gainful employment to help break the destructive cycle of homelessness. And then below that, you can find some links related to me, which you can also see on the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com. You can find out more about me, my freelance sports broadcasting services, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And remember to follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams and also post links for upcoming live streams. But before we bring this live stream to a close, let's recap the action we've seen so far. In the top of the first inning, it was actually a bit of a shaky start for the Brookline pitcher, Charlie Engelman, as he gave up 3 walks out of the first 4 batters that he faced. However, a 4-3 double play and a pickoff move at second by Engelman himself managed to get them out of the inning with no score. Bottom of the first, Brookline managed to load the bases with 2 outs, but couldn't bring anyone home. Top of the second, Sharon went down in order. Bottom of the second, Brookline broke things open. It started with a 1-out double to right by Jonathan Mazzara, and then back-to-back walks from Owen Hoffman and Keenan Sawada loaded the bases, and then 2 batters later, a 2-out, 2-strike, bases-clearing double to right center by Elias Brendel broke the game open and gave Brookline a 3-0 lead. Top of the third, Sharon went down in order again. Bottom of the third, Brookline able to add another run after a leadoff walk by Avery Melton, and then a steal from courtesy runner Devin Chin got him to second. Hugh Bollinger got an RBI single through the right gap that scored Chin from second, but Bollinger did get thrown out trying to advance to second on the throw, and Brookline wasn't able to get any more runs on the board. Top of the fourth, Sharon got a leadoff hit by pitch, but then a 6-4-3 double play put an end to the momentum really quick in that inning. Bottom of the fourth, Brookline was able to tack on another run as a 1-out hit by pitch by Harrison Siegel, who's keeping the running joke of him getting plunked by pitches going. His 6th hit by pitch of this season through the first 8 games. He stole second, then stole third. Then when the throw to third to try and catch him stealing got away from the third baseman, he came home to score basically single-handed and make it a 5-0 ball game for Brookline. Top of the fifth, and Sharon finally got their first base hit on a leadoff bunt single by Drew Yaffe. But then the next 3 batters went down in order. Bottom of the fifth, Brookline managed to get a runner all the way to third, but he got picked off at third, and so they weren't able to add any runs. Top of the sixth, and Sharon got 1 runner on base on an E5, but could not move him any further. Bottom of the sixth, and a very strange inning as Jonathan Mazzara reached on an E6, then Owen Hoffman reached on a fly ball out to right, but one that Mazzara thought the right fielder caught, and so Mazzara got thrown out at second. Then 2 batters later, Harrison Siegel got another fly ball to right that the right fielder couldn't secure. That was either a single, a double, an E9, whatever it was. It allowed Owen Hoffman to come in to score for Brookline's 6th and final run. Then in the top of the 7th, despite a 2-out double for Sharon, that base runner got picked off at second for the final out of the inning, and that was your ball game. And that is going to wrap up this live stream. Final score, Brookline 6, Sharon 0. Brookline rolls onward and forward. Off the complete game shutout from Charlie Engelman, they secure their 6th straight win and improve to 7-1 on the year. From Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.